Recently, I was on vacation with my family and some friends, and I was standing on this mountain, 13,000 feet up, staring out at this most spectacular view that most people never get to see. And I was in awe, and I was happy. And I realized I wasn't just happy in that moment. It hit me that I am just happy in my life. And that kind of happy is what we are going to talk about today. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you haven't, I am Rachel, and this is my little corner of the internet where I am hoping to inspire people to be the healthiest that they can be in every aspect of life, even when things get tough. Actually, especially when things get tough. If the idea of that appeals to you at all and you'd like to help the channel grow, stick around, hit that like button down below and subscribe. That will let YouTube know that what I am talking about might actually be interesting enough for them to share with more people. Okay, so how do you define happiness? Can you say that you are truly happy? For me, it's all about being happy in and with my life. It's contentment with what I have and with who and what I am and with what life has dealt me. It's the feeling that my life has purpose and meaning, even if most of the time I have no idea what that purpose is. I honestly can't say that I was truly happy or even content before life dealt me the hands that it did for a while. Why? Probably because I equated happiness with all of the wrong things. Money, the right vacations, the right job, the right house, all the things we think we need to make us happy, and they actually don't. It's why we feel this need to keep buying more and more stuff or to just keep working our asses off. We think, if I just had, I'd be happy. It took my getting slapped in the face with the reality of my own mortality to realize that what I thought of as happiness had nothing to do with any of the stuff that I was striving for or wanted. None of it. I was listening to a podcast a while ago, and they used a term I hadn't heard before: post-traumatic growth. It's the theory that some people go through a positive psychological change after a traumatic or highly challenging situation. According to research, some people who go through traumatic events find more personal strength and a greater appreciation for life. They find the confidence to face new challenges and make changes in their life, among other positive things. I heard that and I was like, oh my God, that's it. Personally, I would have thought that everyone would come out of something traumatic this way, but apparently it's a 50-50 thing. Not everyone experiences it. Unfortunately, I am here to tell you, learn from my trauma, learn from my post-traumatic growth. Happiness is vital to our health. Researchers have proven that there is a deeper mind-body connection than we ever realized. Stress and unhappiness can lead to health problems. I read somewhere that up to 80% of visits to primary care doctors are due to issues caused or made worse by unmanaged stress. The science actually shows that being happy doesn't just make us feel, happy. It provides us with a sense of optimism and purpose. It makes us kinder and more helpful, which makes sense. But it also improves our mental and our physical health. It lowers our risk for cardiovascular disease, lowers our blood pressure. It helps us to sleep better and improve our diets. It affects our weight, our stress levels, and strengthens our immune system. Now, am I saying that if you're happy, you're never going to be sick or life will be perfect? Of course not. But it will help you to cope better and make you more resilient to negative situations. And if you watched my gut health video, you know that it's a reciprocal relationship. Happiness leads to a better diet and taking better care of yourself. A better diet leads to better gut health, which leads to the release of dopamine and serotonin, your happy hormones. Seriously, it is all tied together. So why wouldn't you work on every frickin' aspect of your health and your happiness? So, what changes did I decide to make that let me honestly say that I am the happiest I have ever been in my life? Despite 2 cancer diagnoses, despite numerous surgeries, meds, side effects, complications, the loss of loved ones, not being able to do a job I loved, and all the other stress-inducing crap going on in this world right now. The best way I can describe it is to say that I have learned to protect my peace. I let go of a lot of stuff, figuratively and literally. I was a massage therapist for a lot of years, and I had a couple of signs in my massage room. One of them said, peace. It does not mean to be in a place where there is no noise, trouble, or hard work. It means to be in the midst of those things and still be calm in your heart. I loved that, but even though I looked at it daily, I don't think I really thought about it that much until lately. There is always going to be stress and trauma in our lives. Everybody goes through it at some point. Everybody. That is just life. But it's how you react to it that makes all of the difference. Some of the stuff that I did is hard and it takes time, but I'm telling you, totally worth it. So what did I actually do? I'll start with the easier stuff. I've already done a video talking about gratitude, so I will not rehash all that, but I still practice it every single day. First and last thing, it is a non-negotiable. It's about self-care. For me, it's starting almost every day with that gratitude practice, my coffee, and some kind of meditation. Then I walk my dog and I do strength or mobility work. I eat well and I do my best to get plenty of sleep. I do things that just make my heart happy. That is self-care for me. But it could look different for everybody. It could be as simple as taking time to watch your favorite show or reading a book if that's what you love. And I look for a little awe in every single day. Something that just makes me stop and go, wow. Sometimes, if you're lucky, that could be standing on a mountain or a beach staring out at the ocean and realizing how big and gorgeous the world is. For most of us, though, we've got to be content with what's around us every single day, like watching the sun rise or set, or taking the time to look up at the stars at night. Sometimes, for me, it's the sound of a baby laughing, or watching my dog playing with the pure joy that only dogs and little kids seem to have. Or just seeing one stranger do some random kindness for another one. It doesn't have to be a big deal, but if you look for things that inspire awe every single day, you'll realize that it's actually one of the most calming things you can experience. And I try creating good karma. That's not just about being kind to people and to yourself. It's all of the things that you do and how you treat people. It could be as simple as a smile for a stranger. We all put out this energy, whether we realize it or not. And that energy affects the people around you, whether they realize it or not. Your energy and your attitude can make or break yours or someone else's day. You put out good energy, you're going to get that back. Negative energy, you are going to get that back too. I always used to half joke that I had this permanent black cloud over my head, if it weren't for bad luck and all that crap. I don't do that anymore. I do not put that kind of energy out into the universe. Even if something bad happens, I am looking for the good in it. I've noticed that this makes a huge difference in my attitude and the way I look at things. Next is where it starts to get a little tough. At least for me it does. First, you have got to set boundaries, stick to them, and stand up for yourself. You know what you can handle, and you know what sets you off. So don't let people overstep. There are people who will walk all over you if you let them, or they'll push you into doing things you really don't want to do. Peer pressure never stops. You let this stuff happen, and then you become resentful, and you're miserable, and you're stressed, and you're angry. Understand it's okay to say no, and it's okay to ask questions, regardless of who you are talking to. If something doesn't resonate with you, if it just doesn't seem right, if it helps you understand something or puts your mind at ease, ask your questions. We're afraid to ask questions. So I say again, set boundaries, stick to them, stand up for yourself and be your own advocate. Walk away if something doesn't feel right. If you are in a miserable situation, you are the only one who can initiate change. You may need help to do it, but you have to initiate it. The satisfaction, the empowerment, and the relief that you get from getting rid of a weight that you probably didn't even know you carried, I cannot even begin to describe how good it feels. And finally, I let go of a lot, figuratively and literally, like I said. This is probably the hardest thing to do, but it is definitely the most freeing. I carried a lot of crap around with me most of my life. I think a lot of us do. And the realization that I don't have to is, again, indescribable. I let go of this need to compete and keep up with the Joneses, comparing my life to other people's. I don't worry about what other people think of me or what they have. It's none of my business. They say that comparison is the thief of joy, and I firmly believe that. It is a fast track to misery. This world is a noisy and competitive place. Always has been, and I think it's gotten worse in recent years. We spend way too much time trying to live up to someone else's expectations or their lifestyle. We don't realize that most of the time, those people don't even notice or care what we are actually doing or what we have, because they are too busy trying to impress either us or someone else, or just keep up with someone else. We set this ridiculous bar for our happiness, and we don't realize that bar keeps moving, so we're never really satisfied. So no more comparing my lifestyle, my clothes, my vacation, my house, whatever, to anyone else. I know my life is good, and I am grateful for that. If I do something now, it's because I want to, not because someone else did it or it's going to look really good on social media. I couldn't care less what people think of me or if they even like me. The only people whose love and respect that I need are the people close to me. I'm polite, I'm friendly, I try to be kind, but I cannot control other people's opinions. And that is another thing I let go. Things I cannot control. I can't control what people think, do, or say. I can't control my past or some of the issues or challenges I faced or will face, but I can 100% control how I react to them. There is absolutely no point in stressing over something that's out of my control. It steals my peace. None of us can set the rules for the universe. We can only set how we respond. And in that vein, I am not afraid anymore to let go of the negative in my life. I'm not afraid to walk away from people or things that just don't feel right or constantly drain my energy. It's okay to distance yourself from that. I walk away from drama and toxic people. And oddly enough, being able to do that, I think, makes me more compassionate. Not worrying about what other people think actually makes me more willing to help out someone who needs it, or to stand up for what's right, or for people who have no one else to stand up for them. And the ability to do that makes me happy. As for the literal part of letting go, oh my God, I am in the middle of that, trying to let go of all this stuff that I have accumulated over the years. Stuff I don't really need or really want. That in itself will be a whole other video. The point is, we don't need so much stuff in our lives. I've realized it doesn't make me happy, and it actually sets me on edge. I've read a lot in the last few years. Old stuff, current stuff, and from Buddha to the Bible, philosophers to current scientists, they all say the same thing. Happiness lives inside us, not in the things we have. Protecting your peace and focusing on your happiness is not selfish. Anybody who tells you otherwise is wrong. It's vital to building your resilience and your inner strength. The other sign in my massage room said, taking care of oneself is not selfish, it's practical. An empty vessel has nothing to offer. If you haven't already, I hope you come to the realization that you are enough just the way you are, and you deserve happiness. If the people in your life don't agree or treat you accordingly, I'm sorry, but get new fucking people in your life. Don't settle for anything less. It is a big world out there, big enough for you to find your place and to find your tribe. We all deserve real happiness and contentment. Do not put that responsibility for finding it on anyone or anything else, because when you do, you will, without fail, be let down. I am solely responsible for my own happiness, and once I realized that, it's a game changer. As for letting go, it doesn't mean putting your trauma or your stresses behind you. Don't. You do not have to. These are the things that fundamentally change us. They're what give us the confidence to do all of this stuff that I've talked about. Just consider yourself lucky that you went through it and you came out the other side. Look for your own post-traumatic growth. That's what's going to enable you to create a content, peaceful life for yourself, one that is really worth living. and you'll actually be healthier and happier. I promise. So tell me, do you think I'm on point or am I way off base? Am I missing anything? Let me know in the comments because I'm really interested to hear it. In the meantime, I will see you the next time. Thanks for watching. Take care of you. Bye-bye.